Yeah, I will give to DM, so you can just brief on the.
Safan, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So the data which we are providing from our end for extracting the CSV from your end, is it okay? Do we need to correct anything from our end, or do we have to add anything from our end so that you can just start giving us the data in the CSV format? I think we have given now CAA related things like payment and that languages and also aircraft types. I think they have provided to you the CSV format and the table design data types with the width and the primary key for key information. Hope that suffice the information for you what we have given. If there is anything, you can just let us know so that we will try to pull and then we
Sure.
will get to you. And we will be waiting for you to give the aircraft types and CAA related data for countries.
Sure. I was working on it yesterday, but something come up.
No.
But now I'm finalizing. There are some, like some challenges in our data.
Mhm.
For example, in manufacturer, for example, in aircrafts,
Mhm.
it seems that we have repeated information,
Oh,
like Airbus, and you can find it twice or thrice in the same table. So I will try. I'm checking, but I will send what I can. I will do what I can do, and we'll send you the CSV files. Then maybe we can discuss later how we can solve these kind of issues.
no.
But as far as the email last one you sent regarding the CAA, I didn't check it.
Okay.
I will check it today.
Okay, Safwan. That's what we wanted to, be on the same page so that the same page and the page so that we can just, exchange information, what is required from our end, if any concerns from our end to you to give the data so that we will accommodate that. So we thought we'll just have a discussion on that and, we will take it further.
Right.
Hope the information what we are giving it to you, that suffices the information what you need, right?
Yes. Everything is fine right now.
That,
Everything is okay.
yeah, Chinmay is going to take over.
And Safwan, like I have a the little concern on the the speed what we are doing, because I think if we go in the same pace, it may take the couple more days or weeks. So is there any
Mm.
way, like we can speed up the process? Like if you want our
Mhm.
team to help you, that also can be, we can discuss, and DM can actually not only, from, micro Excel side, for UAS side
Mm.
also, if you need any help, yeah, like, we are always open to, give our hands. Like,
Mm.
if you have any,
Uh, yeah, I
because,
think yeah, right. I think as far as now, it's pretty straightforward. I already prepared some scripts for CMS items, so we can even after some time I can export the same thing with the script. So no, it's not a problem, but we need to see later, like if we will have challenges, as I said, like some duplicate records, something that's missing. If there is a constraint that's been built into a table, then we need to check maybe if you can use ETL tools, like data transformation tools to check, and maybe with one click you can remove the duplicates from the data, or you can check what kind of constraint maybe we'll discuss, and then you can maybe disable the constraint for some time if there is something that's not we cannot solve, but maybe we can do it later, just for importing the data for now. As I said, there are some challenges. I mean, those challenges will be, I'm only worried about those things. But whenever it comes to providing you the data and the CSV files, it's fine. I mean, it's not that difficult task.
Yes, of
It's a
course.
one-time it's
Correct.
one-time process.
What you mentioned is right. Like, if we have those kind of constraints, restrictions, and if need be, we will have to disable those constraints during the time of importing the CSV, and later we can identify those values which are getting violated. For example, just to give you an example, if there is any unique constraint, have been put into the particular table for aircraft manufacturers or aircraft classification, we will be able to
Mhm.
import that those data which you gave it to us in the table, and later we can identify that which are those which having duplicate records, and we can internally identify those records, and we can say which one to return and which one not to return, and later stages.
Okay.
This is, I'm just giving an example in terms of unique constraint. In the same way, the foreign key constraint, which we already did last time for the CAA, which I told you, like there was a table or a column which was not having a, what do you call it as CAA data, but that was getting imported, something like that. So that can be done, that can be addressed.
Right.
We will, I guess, during the task or the journey of data migration, we will have to adjust by, or we will have to, in certain stages, might think we will have to disable certain constraints, and then we will have to enable that constraint wherever need be. Not for all the time, for all the tables. Maybe wherever it is required, we will have to do that. That is okay from our end. We don't mind doing that. That's not a problem.
Sure, sure,
Okay.
sure. I think this is straightforward. Yeah.
And Safwan, on an optimistic note, like how many more days or weeks we may need to do a CMS migration. It's where let's on a general, like just to plan certain things
Mm.
from my end. I need some tentative date. So when we can target.
Yeah. So I think I mean, as far as now, so I mean, do you have a timeline for this? I mean, do we need to finish like as soon as possible, or is it like 1 week per week, like we are saying that okay, we'll finish these two CMS items? I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I can concentrate on like if you give me all the templates, for example, whatever templates you have for customers, vendors, I mean, whatever left, airports, for example, and I can start do it one by one, and I will send you. Once I finish with one, I will just send you the details.
Okay, because
If you prefer, yeah, if you prefer this approach.
yeah, I think that will be the ideal approach. My target is to complete majority of the things by the before starting the TMS. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
have some real data where like testing team and development team will get a actual idea to develop the TMS other than rather than having
Nice.
data uploading like updating in the backend. So really, if we migrate the
Mm,
data, that will give a more realistic picture. So yeah, I think I will
mm,
talk to the our backend team, and I will try to send you the all the for all the tables CSV formats as soon as possible, and you can take your own time, and maybe you can prioritize the things, and you can send it to us. Then we can we'll start working on it.
okay, sure,
And
sure,
at the point of
Jamil.
time, you need any, assistance, yes, we are there because, we are our extended team. So you can, ask us, and, we will get it done for you.
Okay, okay, definitely. I will check this, but we don't want to be very optimistic. The thing is that I mean, based on our database structure, it's very chaotic. I mean, the system that you are using, uh, they don't have. I think because it's been used by many vendors. This is why we have a lot of redundant fields and a lot of the same table you could see it twice, but you don't know which one is active. So I have to investigate with all the queries that's happening in the system. So sometimes some tables are problematic, but in general, I mean, it's doable.
Okay, yeah. That's fine, the one because when we start only we'll get to know the complexity and the challenges. Yeah, that we can jointly we can address it and we can move forward.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so then I think yeah,
Okay,
we have some queries. Pramod has some queries. Let me share my screen on user management.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hi, Sapan. This is Pramod.
Hi, Brahma.
Yeah, basically we have kept a role as multi-select currently. Like according to the markup, we have kept role as multi-select whenever we are creating any user. So, so thing is how to handle that role because, for example, if assume a role is SOS, so you will have read and write, sorry,
Mhm.
not read and write, get and write access to some checklist. Okay, so he can have OS also, OS as a role also. So in case of OS, so he might have only read access to that checklist, the same checklist. So in this case, what we have to do? So that's why.
So yeah, so this is a common issue.
Okay,
Even in our system, we are facing this, and I think we have to see. I mean, what's the best approach here? Because the problem is we have something as a permission, and we have anti permission,
okay,
which makes the logic in our system now very confusing.
okay,
So you have to figure out a way to isolate those. I mean, try to create a rule
okay,
to see if any violation will happen with regards to read only or read write.
okay,
And this is, I mean, even if we keep the role as single select,
okay,
you still have this issue. Maybe, for example, if I go into, like if I created a new role and I added two different permissions,
okay.
one as a read only and another one as a read write. So it will also make a confusion later. So I think you need to make sure that it's really clear on the permissions, how it's set up internally, so this kind of issues will not occur.
Okay. Okay. So currently, what we are planning to do in case of role is, okay. So just I go to role. Okay. Okay. Here, instead of view/edit slash add, so we'll keep toggles like view, edit, add, and delete. So internally, initially,
Right.
when he clicks on edit, so we will toggle the view as well because without view, we can't give him edit and an update or delete like add. So in case of if he is clicking on edit, add or delete, so we'll automatically will populate this like toggle this view answer.
Okay. Okay. This is good then. I think in this case, yeah, you are isolating the read only from read write. I mean, this is
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
This is
So
fine. But you need to check, for example, you need
okay,
to check. Sorry, you need to check in countries there is a airport tab,
okay,
right?
okay,
And that airports tab, there is a create button
okay,
down. So
yeah,
you need to be able to check that, okay, if you provide read only on airports, then that tab also should be read only, even if you provide read write on countries.
yeah. Definitely, we will
So
we'll handle that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so there are some, these kind of issues that we are actually facing now in the Cuban system. We
Okay,
keep asking the vendor to say, I mean, to make sure that each and every place,
okay.
like is set for permissions, and all the tabs are well configured, something like this. Yeah.
Okay.
So currently we are working on this, like making a single module, like for example, country, airport, those kind of CMS details for PEYG, this kind of things. So once we are done with this, we will try to complete the inner modules as well, sections as well, separate sections in the each
Okay.
of the module.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sure.
So basically, one more question is, should I keep role as single select or multi-select?
You can, I mean, you can provide it as a single,
Okay.
but in this case, we need to check, like because I've seen a different approach,
Okay.
groups,
Okay.
like the ability to define groups.
Okay.
What does that mean? For example, I can say, okay, I have a role as a BDM,
Okay.
but I should have access only to, to Africa countries
Okay.
or to Africa vendors.
Okay.
This might not be, I mean, in this phase, but you have to make sure that we have these kind of groups
Okay.
that I can assign to an individual. It's groups related to data permission.
Okay.
But
Okay.
in general, I mean, a role is a role. I mean, we can define whatever, as you said, like just like we'll define it once, and you can apply all the permissions for one role.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to have to be a multi-select.
Okay. Okay. Okay, then we'll do the changes accordingly, and we'll try to incorporate whatever you said. But I think so. This spring, like this sprint, we'll take up only this. But whatever you said currently, like for the country, particular things, those
Yes.
things, yeah, we'll take in next upcoming phases. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
sure. Okay.
That's all I have question. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And one more thing, Nitesh has one more doubt, so he will take it. Thank you.
Hi, Safan, Nitesh here.
Hi, Nitish.
For this application, login using AD only or login using email and password, both?
Sorry, the you said the login?
The login function is done by AD only or the login using email and password also?
So it's all should be authenticated with the AD.
AD, AD, right?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
email, not email and password, right?
No, everything should be through AD. And there is one issue which is related to how you will assign roles to an existing ID. I think it's through AD ID. So through the AD ID, you will be assigning the application roles to the application to the user AD ID.
Okay, what I'm thinking is if we add external users, then we need to select organization. So in that case, we don't have any Microsoft AD, right?
So this I think we sent to Chinmay. Double check the Azure B2C. This is a module inside Azure. It's actually related to external user authentications. So through AD, that will be done through AD, and you can assign any like any email ID you want. We can provide that through AD, and the authentication will happen through AD, but it will be something that's not in our under our domain. It's something as added as an extension to Azure AD.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Safan.
It's called Azure B2C. Check that one. I will send you if you want the links. I think Chinmay, I think we send you the links.
Yeah, I think Mia has sent me a couple of videos. That is the one, right?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, I like.
Azure B2C. But we need to make sure that one is done before before we even launch we complete the TMS. Why? Because I have to also use the API for our portal, for our client portals. So I need to test it. I need to test the external login also.
Yeah, sure, Safwan. I'll share it to the team and let them go through it. And if you need any, again, they will contact you directly in the Skype.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Safwan. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Safan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye.